So these are the old taillights off my truck, and well, they're pretty much munted. Stuff has started to peel off on the inside. They're just generally not looking good. This one's in a little bit better condition, but yeah, they're not in the greatest shape. So the question is, what are we gonna do about it? So here's the solution, a brand new set of red and clear taillights from Depo. Now, these are also available now with like a gray lens, right, which is a little bit more modern looking. I'm definitely gonna grab a set of those in the upcoming future. But for now, I just wanted to redo my red and clears. So that's what I've bought, and I'll show you guys what they look like brand new and how they come. Let's pop these open. There you have it. Brand new red and clear tails. These do come with their bulbs inside. As you can see, that yellow reflection. There's a little tube here for draining out moisture, your connector, and then your 3 connectors. Only one bulb comes out from the back, which is this one. The other 2 you have to do from the front. Now, this did come with some extra clips for this side, and it came with all of its screws, of course. So I'm not going to install this as is. First and foremost, on my old ones, all this black trim got oxidized and whitish. So I'm going to ceramic coat this first. And then I don't really trust the rubber seal that's in here because moisture got into my old ones. And it could just be, you know, that I did buy those used. Maybe the seals weren't that good by the time I got them. And I know the screws weren't either. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal this with oxybutyl. Right, because I'm going to put LED bulbs in here to replace the bulbs that it has, and then the oxybutyl is going to seal this. That's what they use for sealing headlights and other things, windshields for example. That will completely keep the moisture from getting in through here and damaging this. And LED bulbs last a long time, so I don't expect to have to be taking it apart to remove it. But if I do, oh well, I just replace the oxybutyl and do it again. And I'll buy a separate set of LED bulbs when I get the gray smoked ones, just because I don't want to have to take them apart to swap bulbs around. For some reason, the other light comes out like underneath this thing and is in a yellow bag. Not sure that there's any reasoning for that, but here it is. So this is G-Technic's C4 Permanent Trim Restorer. They are not a sponsor on the channel. I have no sponsors. I'm not being paid to tell you this. I know that the stuff works from experience, so I'm going to coat all of the black using this stuff in order to protect it. You gotta wear gloves for this, and obviously I'm going to take my taillight apart. So let's get to that. So first thought is, the screws that are used for this are usually pretty soft, so don't just go trying to take this apart willy-nilly. Try out different tips, right? Because when you buy one of these things, there's a million tips. Try different Phillips head tips until you get one that sits inside the screw really nicely and sits all the way down. Otherwise, you run the risk of stripping these dang things. This one seems like it's a nice fit. I'm going to take out one, right? And I'll use that as a test for, you know, which bit fits it best. And I'll use that in general for my installation and removal. The ones that are currently on my truck have strip screws, and the screws were stripped when I bought it used, so it tells you a lot how soft these things are. This one sits really nicely, so I'm going to go with this one. The first one I grabbed, perfect. So these screws may be different lengths. You want to pay attention to that. They might not be, but pay attention and find out first. We'll just take it apart and then later go, oh crap, now I don't know what goes where. You don't have to keep the screws in order, but I'm OCD like that, so I always put it back in where I took it out. These you have to hold the little stupid clip on the back. I guess they have the clip just so that they can ship it assembled. That's probably the only reason. So these inner ones are shorter, the outer ones are longer. So you have to keep that in mind. Alright, so these are fully apart. We can go ahead and remove these light bulbs since we're not going to be using them. But I'm going to save them in case I would need them for whatever reason. I don't like touching halogen bulbs. It's like the grease from your fingers gets baked on them later. These center ones pull out. There's something to note. If you have an older Tacoma, like pre-0104, they had the different taillights that didn't kind of like bulb out like these do. They were like flat here instead of kind of like this bulby shape. And they use a different light bulb for the reverse lights than these later lights do. So if you're looking for LED bulbs to put in here in an earlier Tacoma, you need to make sure that you do your search as if you're getting bulbs for an 01 to 04 truck. Otherwise, you're going to have the wrong bulbs. And I'm going to put in the description which bulbs you need. That way you know which ones to get if you're trying to do exactly what I'm doing here. Alright, so with all of these bulbs out, I can go ahead and ceramic coat this black trim. So, according to this trim protector, I don't have to do the clean part because this is already clean. I didn't get oxidized stuff. We apply the C4 evenly to the supplied application pad and spread evenly over a single piece of trim. Alright, so this stuff this is the chemical we're working with. G-Technic. Definitely slap this on my car somewhere. I love G-Technic, good stuff. I have my Camaro done in that, and it's held up really nicely. Again, they're not paying me, but hey, G-Technic, if you guys want to sponsor me, you already know. Like your guys' stuff.
¿Qué es esto?
Esos son lámparas, pero no las toque, por favor.
¿Y qué es eso?
Bombillos.
¿Así?
Sí, son bombillos.
¿Y esos bombillos? Mamá, mira, todo está limpiando, papá.
Hello, girl dad.
Hello.
No toques, mi amor. Vamos a jugar allá.
All my subscribers on YouTube are gonna know now.
Oh, yeah? How?
I'm filming a YouTube video.
Oh.
¿Y qué es eso?
You can edit it out.
¿Y qué es eso,
Yeah.
papá? Papá, ¿y qué es eso? Papá,
Eso,
¿qué es eso?
mi taladro.
Wow, mira.
Está lindo, ¿verdad? Pero ven, vamos a jugar allá. Vamos a jugar. Vamos a dejar eso ahí.
No.
Eso es de papá, mi amor. No quiero que se lo pierdas.
What does he have?
A little bowl. Okay.
Let's set this aside and work on the next one.
Vamos a jugar un rato de juegos.
Quiero jugar acá.
No, pero con eso no se puede, que eso es de papá. Ven, vamos allá. Yo sé, eso mamá no le gusta. Pero todavía tienes que cargar más, mi amor.
It's still dead? sure I get all the little edges and stuff that will be visible and will catch sun in order to protect them really nicely. That now also just has a nicer gloss than it did originally. I'm really happy with that. Got this on Amazon, so this stuff is fairly accessible nowadays. Used to not be so accessible. Alright. It does say to wipe off the excess with a microfiber. Which I have here. So let's start on my other one. You want to do this in a well ventilated area because I'm realizing this stuff smells pretty strong. And that's that. They're now ceramic coated. Beautiful. Let's do the LED bulbs. Alright, so here's the package I got from Super Bright LEDs. One of several packages I've been ordering left and right from them, but alright, I want to say your turn signal bulbs are 1156 and the brake bulbs are 1157. These are red, these are obviously amber. And then your reverse light bulbs, they got cool white, and they're T10 wedge base. So, start from the top. Alright, go here. Make sure you align these little pins, right, that are on the bulb to the slots. Push in and turn. That is installed. Now, we take our T10 wedge base. This is harder to do because you got to get in here, and if you have big hands like me, it's a little troublesome, but you kind of just get in here, pop it in, it just pushes in. And then finally we have the 1157, same idea. It's got little pins that stick out, so you align it to the slots, push in, turn clockwise. It's a little harder. I'm in a little bit of trouble there. Let's see. Careful not to damage your LED bulb either. Jeez. There we go. It's in. Alright. I will have to test these on the truck because I don't think it's the case with these, but sometimes LED bulbs that I've purchased in the past have been polarized and you need to like test them. Otherwise, like if I seal this and I don't have them in the right polarity, it's going to be an issue. I want to say these are not, but they very well could be. So we'll do that. Once they're tested and good, I'm going to replace this rubber seal that's all the way around these lights with oxybutyl, and then heat up that oxybutyl and seal it, and these things will be good to go. Alright, so these lights, unfortunately I ran out of battery, but I just set up the oxybutyl right inside here instead of the rubber gasket. I'm going to have to bake this, right, to get the temperature. I could just hit it with a microtorch, but I risk damaging the housing and warping, so I don't want to do that. I'm just going to put them in the oven at 250, and that'll be plenty. I have a half a mind to remove the bulbs, because I don't know how they're going to do with being inside an oven, and I'm pretty sure they're just not going to like it, so I'll probably remove the bulbs, heat one light, reassemble the bulbs, pop the lens on, heat the next light, do the same process. But for now, I just want to test to see if these bulbs are all correctly installed. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to flip these over, and I'm going to put dielectric grease inside the connectors so that they don't seize like my other ones were starting to do. So let's bust this open. Get some dielectric grease. And just lather it onto the connector pins. Once I pop it on, it'll spread. I'll just make it easier to disconnect in the future too, because you don't have the stuff corroding and seizing on. So I'm going to go test these now. So I plugged these things in and ran a few tests, and this side is working 100% perfectly as it should. Unfortunately, on this side, the lower LED bulb they sold me is damaged. So some of these strips turn on, but the fronts don't, and half of the cylinder doesn't turn on. So I need to ask for a new one in case of this because it's mounted. So I'm only going to bake the left side tail light. On this one, I'll take the oxy-butyl out and just reassemble it with the seal. I'll put a normal light bulb for now, and when I get the upgraded light bulb, then I'll swap it through the oxy-butyl and bake it. Also, for future reference, right here on the bottom of the light, it tells you what bulbs go in here and in what order. See, 1156 on top, 921, which is a T10 wedge base in the center, and 1157 on the bottom. And it's all 12 volts as an apply. So, if you don't know what bulbs you need, there you go. Now, something that I did off camera while I was charging my battery for my camera is I took these screws and I embedded them into a 2x4, kind of spaced them out 1.5 inches apart. Then I hit the head of each screw with a micro torch until the head was glowing, right? And then quenched it inside some oil. I did that in order to harden the metal here. And by doing that, I made these heads harder, so when I install the lights, these don't strip as easily. It's been 7 minutes actually. See how this goes. It's soft, but not that soft. I need to be at a higher temp. I think we're sealed up pretty good. put her on the truck. So there you have it. My taillights are now done. Unfortunately, I still do have to reseal the passenger side one, but I do have to wait up until they send me the new replacement LED bulb in order to fix that. So I've sent the damaged one back, which they requested, and I just basically have to wait until that comes. Then I will follow the same exact process and get that light sealed up, and my taillights will be done. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, there's a ton more to come on the Tacoma. I am working on that Speeduino video, I swear. It's gonna come soon enough. In any case, there's a lot more to come. So if you guys have enjoyed this content and you wanna see more of it, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you are notified when I post another one. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section. And as always, thank you guys for watching.